Hey everyone, I'm Kelli Tennant, and today we are kicking it in the Stadium Club with the president of the LA Galaxy, Mr. Chris Klein. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So I have to tell you, you are a Tennant family favorite. My mother has a huge crush on you, so she's very jealous that I get to do this interview with you.
Oh,
she thinks you are just so wonderful.
We'll tell your mother hello.
So going back to your playing days, 12 years in the MLS, you win an MLS Cup, and then you're able to transition into this huge role as president with the Galaxy. How was that for you, and how were you able to do that so smoothly?
Well, I mean, I think the way to do it smoothly is to surround yourself with good people. It's like anything else. It's when you play or other things that you do, if you have good people surrounding you. I've been fortunate enough to have some great mentors here with AEG, with Chris McGowan, who is no longer with us, and Tim Leiweke and Dan Beckerman. Working with very good people has made me better. But when I was playing, I always thought it was a possibility that I would move into the business side. Some of my experience with the Players Association, the Players Union, was very valuable for me, just learning this and knowing people that are involved in our game on the business side.
Mm-hmm. You've seen the past of the Galaxy. You're in it right now. What do you see moving forward for this club?
Well, there's a number of things. I think that when you look at our club as a whole, I mean, just in the past year, we continue to change. Our academy is becoming something that's more and more important for our success. We've now added LA Galaxy 2, where we have the structure now that most clubs have throughout the world. We need to build on that structure. So that's one big thing that I think we're going to see, is we're going to see local players that come up through our system that end up playing for the LA Galaxy, and continued growth. We're starting to see the city of LA rally around this club, the success that we've had on the field, hopefully a fifth MLS Cup. Mm-hmm. And I'm interested to see how our country and how the LA Galaxy can capitalize off the success of the World Cup.
When you're talking about the international scale, not just MLS, you guys are playing Manchester United in July. That's a huge deal. How does that grow the sport and your involvement with it? How great is that?
It's a couple things. I mean, we've been fortunate enough being in LA. We've played Barcelona. We've played AC Milan. We've played Real Madrid and Chelsea. We've never played Manchester United. So they are who we want to be. I mean, we want to be Manchester United. We want to be Real Madrid in our sport. We are a long way from being there, but to bring those types of teams here, not only for our players but for our fans and for our club to be able to see how the people at the top operate is something that we very much look forward to every summer. Our fans seem to love it, and it's something we're going to do more of.
I imagine that it's kind of cool for you to watch a lot of these guys grow up knowing exactly what they're going through, and you see someone like Omar, who's getting so much attention right now for being, the new face of soccer. What kind of guidance are you giving him and trying to help him through this?
Omar and I talk a lot. I don't really give him too much guidance. I mean, we talk about different things, and I'll wish him well and understand some of the things that he's going through, but he has great examples around him to learn from the experiences of Robbie or Landon and guys that have gone before him. But Omar's life has changed dramatically just in the past 6 to 12 months, not only for a contract that he signed, but all the notoriety he's gotten so far, and it's going to change even more this summer in the World Cup. But he seems to have a good handle. He knows where he came from and understands the hard work that it's taken for him to get here.
Well, and I think the cool thing about Omar and Landon and Robbie and all these guys you have together, they're such great people, and they are humble, and maybe they're pains to work with sometimes, but for the most part, they're so great. How do you build that kind of camaraderie and those kind of characters in one team?
This is Bruce. These are the types of people that he likes to get in his team. These are the type of players that he likes to coach. It's been the mark of his team since he was a college coach. He gets these types of characters together, and he doesn't get enough credit for this, but he brings them together and gets them to really build each other up, to have Robbie and Landon work like they do, and to be able to bring in some international players in that dynamic that we have, and young players. And it all seems to fit together. You don't know how, but that design Bruce has done a great job with.
How is your relationship with him? I know it goes back a long time.
Yeah, I've known Bruce for a long time. I actually, when I was in college, I went to Indiana, and our team my freshman year lost to Bruce's Virginia team in the final. I played all of my national team career under Bruce Arena. I played for him here at the LA Galaxy. And with any coach, it was up and down, not in our relationship, but how I thought that he viewed me as a player. So now sitting next to him and running this club with him, you see a completely different side, and you understand the success that he's had and why he's so good. I've learned a tremendous amount from him.
We've talked so much right now about Landon and getting this last goal. What's it like to watch him and know that he's right on the brink of being the greatest?
Well, I think that, certainly he is the greatest. He's the greatest player in our country's history. He's the greatest player certainly in our league's history. If you look at the number of championships that he's won, the number of goals that he's scored, and the number of goals that he will score, I don't know that there's anyone that thinks he's not going to break the goal record. We'd like for him to do it, but he will do that. And I think for Landon, it's creating that legacy. We talked a long time before he signed this contract of what does he want that to be. And for Landon, it's really the statue. It's Michael Jordan, it's Wayne Gretzky, and having that impact on our sport that very few people can have.
How do you make the jump from what happened to last year and the ending that you guys had last year to being able to win a championship this year?
With some teams, when you don't have the year that you thought you had, you look back and you say, okay, we need to blow this up, we need to rebuild, we need to change our players. This team is much, much different. I think Bruce looks at last year's team and says, we're just a little bit off for whatever reason. Landon took a break, players didn't perform to where they should. There was a number of things that happened, but he looked at the season and said, we just need a couple pieces. We feel that we added some of those pieces in the offseason that are going to give us a chance to be able to challenge for that 5th MLS Cup. So I think it's that momentum, more consistency than we had last year. We certainly feel that we have a team that can contend for a 5th.
Well, and they seem so confident in the depth this team has and what they've been able to do and establish early, and kind of the attitude. I remember a couple weeks ago, Omar telling me it's no excuses this year. We just have to get it done.
Yeah, we have to get it done. There's going to be challenges. We're going to lose probably Landon and Omar for a period of time. In the World Cup coming at the time that it does in a season, never easy for a club. We have some young players that need to continue to grow, players like Giassi, but we feel very good about the group that we have and continuing along the path that we started really 3 years ago with being the dominant team in our league.
All right, thank you so much, Chris.
My pleasure.
It's Chris Klein, everybody.